Thinking about buying multi-unit property in 2021? You've come to the right place. Welcome to my channel where I go over all things involving buying and selling real estate. My name is Rob Bailey, realtor here in the Chicagoland area with ARNI Realty Inc. And today I'm going to be giving you tips on how to buy your first multi-unit property in 2021. Multi-unit properties are by far my favorite piece of real estate. It's the only real estate I can think of to where you can buy a building, move into it, and have the passive income or the rental income pay off your mortgage, meaning that you get to live in that building for free. However, when it comes to multi-unit buildings, there is more risk involved than buying a single family home, for instance. There are some things that you really need to look out for. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you tips on how to make sure you buy a profitable multi-unit property in 2021. Also, don't forget to hit that like and that subscribe button so you can be notified when I come out with more real estate videos in the future. Now, let's get into it. My first tip for you when you're looking for multi-unit property is to figure out how much monthly income this building can generate. You do that, of course, by looking at how much the tenants are paying monthly. If there are no tenants, what you need to do is search the area for the average rental prices, and you can do that on a website like Zillow or Trulia.com and just see how much similar properties are renting out for. Once you have your monthly income in the property, now you need to know how much of a mortgage you're going to pay on the property. You do that by speaking with your lender or whoever pre-approved you and getting an estimate from them on how much your mortgage is going to be. From there, you need to check your monthly cash flow to make sure that it works for you. So for instance, if you're going to be living in one of the units, you need to see how much of the mortgage the rest of the monthly income is going to cover. So if you're living there, chances are it won't cover the entire mortgage, but it'll probably cover a good chunk of it, especially when compared to just renting out a similar property on your own. You're probably going to save at least half of that, if not more. If you're not living in the property, then you probably want to look for a building that can generate enough cash flow that'll cover not only the mortgage, but the other expenses, which we'll go over later, and to make sure to leave you a little bit of money in your pocket. My second tip for you is to figure out how much your monthly expenses are. So we already spoke about figuring out how much your monthly mortgage would be, but there are also other expenses that you as a landlord are going to be responsible for. So for instance, you're going to be responsible for the water bill, so you'll need to figure out what that is monthly, because that's something the tenants aren't going to pay. That's something you as a landlord have to pay. There are also other expenses like the electric bill for the common areas, and last but not least, your monthly repair expenses. No matter how new the building is, eventually that building is going to be prepared, so you as a landlord need to save some money on the side to make sure that you can cover the cost of these repairs. A general rule of thumb is to save 10% of the monthly rental income that you get from a property in order to cover the repairs. So for instance, if the property is renting out for $1,000 a month, you need to be saving $100 a month to make sure you can cover any expenses, because let's face it, tenants don't take care of the property as well as a homeowner would, so there's always going to be something wrong with it or something that needs to be fixed down the line. You want to make sure that you can cover that as a landlord so it doesn't come as a surprise and eat into your cash flow. Now, this third tip is probably the most important one of all, and that's to make sure that you know the tenants that are in your building. Having a good tenant in your building can be the difference between your property being smooth, giving you passive income with you having no worries, versus you having a headache week after week after week with something always going wrong with the building. Make sure to interview any tenants that are in your building before you buy it, just to check the mood of the tenant. So for instance, is the tenant happy with everything that's going on with the building, or are they upset and disgruntled and they want to see some sort of changes? Now, if they do want to see some sort of changes, just keep the lines of communication open to see exactly what the tenant wants. You never know if this is something that you might be willing to fix anyway, or it might be an easy solution in order to make the tenant happy. If you're owning rental properties, you want to make sure that your tenants are happy, because they're the secret to you generating all this passive income. Remember, they're the ones that are paying you. they're the ones that are going to be paying the mortgage. So if your tenants are unhappy, you want to do something to change that as soon as possible. And if there's nothing you can do to get them happy, then make sure to get them out of that property as fast as possible so you can get good tenants in the building. All right, guys, those are some quick tips for you if you are looking to buy a multi-unit property in 2021. Any questions or comments for me, please feel to reach out to me through my website, which is BaileyAcresProperties.com. Once again, my name is Rob Bailey, realtor here in the Chicagoland area with ARNI Realty, Inc. Thanks a lot, guys. Have a good day.